Thank you, Dr. Bryan, for sharing your expertise with our audience this afternoon. Last question. Can you speak to the use of infrared sauna therapy to help the body increase production of nitric oxide?
Yeah, that's a very important concept. So there's a lot of things we can do to the human body to restore nitric oxide production or to rid the body of things that are inhibiting nitric oxide production. Infrared sauna, there are certain wavelengths of light that have been shown to knock nitric oxide or liberate nitric oxide off of molecules. So there are certain wavelengths of light that'll liberate nitric oxide bound to metals, and there's certain wavelengths of light that'll liberate nitric oxide bound to cysteine thiols in cells. And so companies that use these near infrared or far infrared and different multiple wavelengths of light can actually release nitric oxide in the body. In fact, there's studies shown that an infrared sauna can lower blood pressure through the increased liberation or production of nitric oxide. The problem is you have to have sufficient nitric oxide, or what we call photolabile stores of nitric oxide. So if a patient's nitric oxide deficient, there's less nitric oxide stores to be activated by certain wavelengths of light. But perhaps the most important thing with infrared technology is the detox component. So you can, the certain wavelengths of light will structure water. It helps to liberate fat-soluble, lipid-soluble toxins. It helps liberate heavy metals. And heavy metals are really a burden to nitric oxide because nitric oxide will bind any metal. So if you've got heavy metal burden, your body can be proficient at making nitric oxide. The problem is the metals that are in your body are going to scavenge it before it has a chance to reach its cellular target and do its job. So the good thing about infrared is, yes, it can help liberate nitric oxide under certain conditions, but perhaps most importantly is it helps to rid the body of some of the things that are inhibiting the body from making nitric oxide or allowing nitric oxide to do its job. So I'm a big fan of infrared. I sit in infrared sauna every day. I think it's one of these simple things that everybody can do, that's cheap, that's practical, and probably one of the best investments in your own health.